I was too lazy to be in bands anymore. So I was like tired of carrying all this equipment around. Tired of having to deal with 5 other dudes. Let's do comedy. No, I just had a lot of friends who started getting into it. And then I heard Kyle Kinane's album, Death of the Party. I was like, oh, because I always thought stand-up comedy was kind of lame. Like that it was like dudes in suit jackets, like blazers, talking about how terrible their wives were. But then I heard Kyle's album and I was like, alright, seems pretty cool. So that was about 7 years ago? Yeah. The very first time, I think this happens for a lot of people, you stack it with like all of your friends, so you think you're like way better than you actually are. You're like, yeah, I crushed! And it was like, oh, that was like 20 of your friends. And then the next, second and third time you do it, it's really bad. And you're like, oh, okay, I actually have to work. So the first time was awesome. I sat down because I was like, no one ever sits when they do stand-up. I thought that was like a really cool thing, and it wasn't. But yeah, and I remember I wrote my entire set out and like rehearsed it, and so it's very like I was very clearly memorizing things. And now I don't. I just write like one word, and that's how I remember the whole thing. So now I just ramble. The first time, extremely rehearsed. It felt great. Rory Scovel's new Netflix special is like the best thing in the world. I love that special so much. It's called Rory Scovel Tries Stand-Up for the First Time or something like that. It's so funny. I like that a lot. I like really weird stuff. I like everything Maria Bamford does. Everything she does is so weird. I did a show with her in San Francisco, and they're like, yeah, you're just gonna go after Maria. And it's like, oh, thanks. That's the perfect spot to put anyone, like after like the best person on the show. And a friend of mine was recording with like a camera set up, and Maria was sitting right in front of the camera and was like laughing at certain things. And I was like, oh. Like when I watched it back later, I was like, and then she came up to me, she's like, I like that stuff about your parents. But yeah, I like Maria's stuff, Rory's stuff. I watched Patton Oswalt's new special, that was really good. Yeah, they're all great, fantastic. Sitcom right now is Downward Dog. It's a show about a talking dog, which when I first heard about it, I was like, this is gonna be the stupidest show ever. But the dog is like, the guy that does the voice just makes it like seem like this nihilistic, like depressed, weird, where it's very funny. Yeah, and there's a comedian named Barry Rothbard who plays the boss on the show. But that, I love that sitcom. Besides that, I just get really into like, I liked Mr. Show a lot back in the day. When I was a kid, I liked a lot of British stuff like Monty Python and the Young Ones. I love those shows. Yeah, but as far as like newer stuff, that dog show, I like Adam's show, Those Who Can't, fantastic show. Some plug his stuff. As long as it's about a talking dog, I'll be involved with anything with a talking dog. I love dogs. When they talk, it's just magical. I would love to go with Rory, but he has a kid now. So that's once a comedian has a kid, they're not fun anymore. They start talking about being a dad and stuff. But, yeah.
Come on.
Probably go out with Rory.
It's gonna be fun.
I would love to get roasted by Robin Williams. Because he was not a mean person at all, so it'd be very funny.
Denver, Toronto.
So he'd just be all happy and nice and be like, you're also terrible.
No, I'm not one of them.
Bobcat Goldthwait, because he's also a very nice person.
Yeah, I'm a door guy.
I love Maria Bamford just to talk shit and be mean to me. That'd be fun. Adam, he makes fun of me all the time, so I like that. How many is that, 4? And Gallagher. I want Gallagher to roast me and then smash a fucking watermelon. That'd be cool. I've done them all. I did improv and didn't like it. But I did sketch stuff when I first started and I loved it. Sketch comedy rules. You just be weird and film stuff with your friends. And it doesn't have to make sense. So there's a lot of videos of me from like 8 years ago that are just really weird and terrible. We were on like the front page of Funny or Die and shit for a couple of the videos. But yeah, I highly recommend sketch stuff because filming stuff is fun. learning that whole process of editing and like having to make it sound good and all that. It's so fun. You got a nice camera, so you can easily do that. I think I'm just gonna tour because I've took a lot. I used to tour a lot more, and I took a lot of time off from it. And I work for this brewery. It pays me salary to run comedy shows in Denver. It's Ratio Beer Works. It's great. So I just get paid a bunch of money just to run shows. I'm gonna knock this one over too, like a cat. But
I will fucking scissor kick you in the chin.
yeah, so I'm trying to travel more. So probably hitting the road a little more because I got really content in Denver. I like building scenes more than like moving to LA or New York. It's fun to build up the city you're in and make it cool and fun. That's my big thing. I finally started using Twitter again. I took a break from Twitter. It's Ian Douglas Terry on everything, I think.
I almost shared that
On Instagram, on Twitter. I had a website, but then I didn't really know what to do with it because it's like, I don't go to a website. I don't really go to websites. You just go to social media, right? I'll have a website again someday. I just want them to know that how much I love my parents because I talk about my parents a lot. Just be like, that guy's parents sound pretty cool. We should drink with them. We should go to Columbus, Nebraska and find Doug and Nikki and hang out. Yeah, my parents rule. Also, I hope they think I look like I'm 28 instead of 36 because that'd be tight. Hi, this is Ian Douglas Terry. Check out kittypie.com. It's the best thing in the world. Next to rollerblades.